Hey there, I'm Charlotte Smith. Welcome and thank you for taking time out of your day to tune in here for a little bit. We're broadcasting live in 3 Cow Marketing right now, or maybe you're hearing this, in the Profitable Farm Facebook group, or maybe you're seeing it later on 3cowmarketing.com. So you can find me in those places. This is a very exciting week for me because we have opened registration for our course, Farm Marketing from the Heart, which is similar to the book by the same name, where we spend 5 weeks going in really deep into the concepts of how to build a strong foundation for your farm marketing plan. And so that's what I'm going to talk about today, the 3 essentials of that strong foundation. Also, this talk is pretty special to me. I get to travel around and give it. And the last time I talked was last month here on our farm. I gave this talk when Salatin was here and spent the weekend with us. And we did a workshop together called the Profitable Farm Workshop. After I gave this talk, he stood up in front of the group and said it was the best farm marketing 1-hour talk he's ever heard. I was totally awed that he said that. And I just think it's so important that word about the things I teach gets out there, because when our farmers go through this course and then send me emails of how it's helping them, and instead of losing the farm, they're able to save it or, to build on their sales. It's so important because you produce such amazing products that the world needs. They need you're transforming lives, you're helping people. So it's important to figure out how to stay in business for the long term. So anyway, I was very excited that Joel said that, and he said he went home and even implemented some things that I talked about. So it's just really cool. So I'm going to condense that 1-hour talk into maybe 15 minutes at the most. Also, I want to say that there's a link to our course in here right below this video, depending on when you're watching it, or above it. So check out the course. If the timing is right for you, I would love to have you. We spent all day yesterday getting new people registered, and again, it's open for 1 more week. So I have the word advertising up here because often people sign up for the course and they get in there the first week and they say something like, "Hey Charlotte, okay, now that I bought your course, tell me where's the best place to advertise?" And I have to give you a little background here. So advertising no longer works in the traditional sense that everyone thinks it does. If you're placing ads on Craigslist or in magazines or around town or hanging signs, whatever you're doing, paid Facebook ads, it doesn't work. So in the 1950s, 50, 70 years ago, American corporations could count on one thing, and that's that all Americans were sitting around glued to their TV at night and every evening, and they had access to 3 or 4 or 5 TV stations. I grew up, we had 5 TV stations, so that large corporations could pay for an ad on TV, millions of people would see it, go out to the store the next day and buy it, and those huge corporations were built on that model, and many of them are still around today. I can even remember all those commercials from the 1970s, and the 80s as we're sitting around watching them, and I still buy a lot of those products. That worked then. It no longer works because, media it's infinite. You can't possibly pay money to advertise in enough places to build a strong business. So we have to move back to what people used to do before TV, and that was build relationships. Only today, what I teach you how to do is to use technology and I teach online relationship-based marketing. So you're building relationships in person, and then you can move that online and continue that relationship building online. So advertising doesn't work, and you need to learn what does in order to make your farm profitable and stay in business. So marketing is giving. You've got to come from a place of giving. And this is kind of a mindset shift. And again, I usually have an hour to talk about this, so I'm going to shorten it up. But just know that in our course, we build a lot of things into it that help you shift to the right state of mind, which is one of giving. You'll notice in this Profitable Farm Facebook group, I get emails from people all the time saying, "Charlotte, you give us so much free information." Well, I'm practicing exactly what I teach. On our farm, we do the same thing. And I don't mean giving away your product. You can't afford, most of us can't afford to do that because our profit margins are so small. What you're giving instead is you're giving of yourself, you're giving education, inspiration, all kinds of things that you can give, and things we spend the next 5 weeks going really deep on. One way I give, and this is really important for you to know too, is I have a farm store. It's open 4 days a week, and I have people that run the farm store because I can't be everywhere at once. But once or twice a week, I will go into my farm store and spend an hour or two in there. And the customers, I am giving to them when I do that, because your customers, they think you're a rock star. You are their rock star. You are their farmer. You're producing stuff that they are feeding their families or decorating their homes with or using in their lives. You're changing their lives, and they can't wait to see you. So that's one way I give, and I have found that my customers are thrilled to see me, and it helps with that trust that makes them buy more and spend more and keeps us sustainable in the long run. So you'll learn ways of giving of yourself and giving free information and education and inspiration. I just wanted to put a sample. I get emails every single week from farmers who say things like this. Like, I just need more customers who will pay our price without complaining. Or someone says, we have plenty of customers, Charlotte. We don't need more customers, but I know our prices aren't where they need to be. I'm afraid to raise them because I'm afraid of losing people. So I get emails like this. We can help you with that. I get a lot of people saying, how do I convince people to buy our blank? And when you practice relationship-based marketing, you don't have to convince anybody, because that's no fun. It's kind of feels gross when you're doing that. And then how do I get people to come back? I hear people that want to take the winter off from their dairy, for instance. They want to close down for a couple months, or they're ending their CSA and they only have 10% of the people return each year. So when you practice relationship-based marketing, that doesn't happen. You can have 100% of your customers return all the time. And I know this works because we hear it from our students. And another thing I hear a lot is people will say, how do I get people to find me? Well, it's not up to customers to find you. It's up to you to find them, get the word out, build these relationships, and attract them. So we spend a lot of time learning how to do that too. All right, a couple things that are really important to know. Marketing is the lifeblood of your business, and it's your responsibility to learn. So thank you, whoever gave us that thumbs up. This is really, really important. It's your responsibility to learn marketing, to keep your farm going, and to be there for the long term, serving your customers. Someone emailed me just this week and said, I want to learn how to market in as little time as possible each month. Like, how can I spend an hour a month marketing? And I'm here to tell you, I can't teach you how to do that. I cannot teach you how to squeeze your marketing of your business into 1 hour a month. It's not possible. You won't have a sustainable, successful, profitable farm if you think that. So you got to get the blinders off, and you got to make marketing, you realize it is the lifeblood of your business. About a third of your time in your whole time spent with your farm should be spent marketing. So if the farm takes 30 hours a week, you need, 10 of those times need to be building relationships and marketing and doing all that work, okay? So it's not something you can squeeze into a short amount of time. All right, the other thing is sometimes people will say, oh, well, what else do we need for marketing, because we have a Facebook page with thousands of likes on it, or Instagram, we have thousands of followers. So Facebook is not a marketing plan, nor is Instagram. Websites are not a marketing plan. These things are part of a marketing plan, but they are not the marketing plan. Some people think if they spend $5,000 having a website created, they're done with their marketing. That's not it. Instagram and farmers markets are not a marketing plan. Again, these farmers markets are great. They are a fabulous, very profitable part of a great marketing plan, but they are not the marketing plan. If that's your marketing plan, It'll work for the first season, but it's not going to be sustainable long term. So all of these things are part of a great marketing plan, but they are not the foundation. These things can be added after you build your foundation. What you need on your farm, you need loyal, consistent customers who pay your price without question, who come back to buy each week, each month, or each season without, you don't lose any, you retain everybody. And you don't have to worry about competition. When you practice relationship-based marketing, there is no competition. And I know this because I teach farmers and all over, and you can have two farmers right next door to each other. And when you practice the things we teach, you will have two completely different customer bases that you market to, two different ways of marketing, because we teach you how to personalize it to what works for you. And there's no competition. So you can be friendly, and it's a wonderful atmosphere, a wonderful way to live. All right, whoops. And I know I'm going very fast, but like I said, this was 1 hour. I'm condensing it to as short a time as possible. All right, so it's important to find out what it is you're really selling. You're not selling what you think you're selling. I talked about this a couple weeks ago in a video, and I had a download that helps you when if you base your marketing on your products you're selling. Like, I'm selling flowers or chickens, whole chickens, or grass-fed beef, or raw milk, or eggs. If that's what you're marketing and thinking you're selling, your marketing will fall flat. Do you remember last week's video with the triangle where you're only marketing to a tiny percentage of people that are possible? When you find out what it is you're really selling, and we work on that in the course, that's a way to reach the 95 or 98% of customers that you're missing out on out in your community. All right, and what you're really selling, and again, I had a download a couple weeks ago that helped you figure this out. You're selling a solution to their problems or their struggles, or you're selling a way to help them reach their goals or dreams. People aren't just buying food. They aren't just buying flowers. There's a reason behind there's a reason why they picked up a bouquet of flowers, or they drove out of their way to get grass-fed beef. You've got to find out what those reasons are. You can't find those reasons out in our Facebook group, like asking other farmers, what reasons do people buy from you? That's going to be different than finding out the reasons your customers buy from you. It's really important. So we worked with you to help you do that, because once you do this, your marketing connects with them. They trust you. They want to buy from you, and price is not a concern. All right, so let's get down to the crux, the essentials of a good marketing plan. And remember, like I said at the beginning, Joel Salatin called this the best farm marketing talk he's ever heard. Huge compliment. He got up in front of a bunch of people here and said that. And the reason I say that, not bragging at all, because I did not invent this stuff, you guys. I'm just delivering it to farmers. We need to get the word out there that farmers need to do whatever they can, especially those first 2 years of business, to learn how to market their products so you can be in business. Because 98% of farmers don't make it to the 5-year mark. 80% are out in a business in the first 2 years. So I have had a lot of really successful farmers say that this is the greatest stuff they've ever heard. So I hope you will join us. First of all, you need to know your dream customer. You've heard me talk about that. You need a basic website. In today's world, you've got to pay for a website, a free website. If you're using a free one, they don't show up in Google searches. They'll be buried. Nobody will get there. So you've got to spend, $16 a month on a basic website. Doesn't matter. You can figure out which one works for you. Squarespace is one we love. Has to be beautiful, because with technology today, it's easy to create beautiful websites. So there's lots of great templates out there. We have a free training on how to do that. So you've got to have that. You got to know who you're selling to. And you have to have an email capturing service set up. And we teach you how to connect all these three things together. I had an email last week from a warrior, a Marine. My son's a Marine, and he's stationed at Camp Pendleton right now. And this guy, anyway, he raises poultry, and he said he was so happy to find out about the email capturing service, because all his customers' emails were on Post-it notes and scraps of paper all over his office. Well, his house, you know, and he said it was driving him nuts. He had no way to reach everyone at once. He kept finding little bits of paper with potential customers on it. So don't be like that, because I hear from a lot of people the same way. You can't be blind copying your customers through your Gmail account either. You'll get it shut down eventually. So get an email capturing service. And again, we have a free training on that too. All right, so again, I'm here going through this quickly today because our course is open for registration. You can click on the link to read more. Your brand. A lot of people say, oh, we're going to pay someone to help us with our branding. When you're starting out, you don't need to do that. Your brand is you. Your communication plan is your brand. And the way you communicate is you. It's your farm. When people drive up and see your farm, your employees, your animals, that's your part of your brand. Your farmer's market booth is part of your brand. Everything you communicate is your brand. So be very attentive to that. Your words on your website are part of your brand. That's called your copy, the things you write on your website. You have to give outstanding customer service. That's part of your brand. Your customer service is part of your brand. You've got to focus on what you can give. Again, that helps build a really strong brand. If you become known for your expertise, your information, your inspiration, you become known as the rock star to your small group of customers you serve. This is giving. And then again, the end, you sell them what they want to solve their problem or reach their goal. So they aren't coming to you for grass-fed beef. They may come to you because they joined a CrossFit box and they heard that eating paleo would help them feel better. So you're selling them a way to feel better. You're giving them grass-fed beef. Again, we go more in depth on that in the course, but that's just a kind of a wake-up call of what you're really selling. So again, marketing is your communication. One of the most important things, I don't know how I'm doing on time, but I'm trying to make this quick. So you've got to be consistent. Most farmers that I get on their email list, they send an email a couple, 3, 4 times a year, and that's it. You're going to lose customers. You've got to work to a point where you're consistently emailing them your information, inspiration, education, and giving to them once a month minimum, year round, even if you're a seasonal business. And we talk more about that in Module 1, the first week. You've got to learn to be generous and authentic in your communication and in your emails. And then due to time, I'm not sure what time it is, so since I don't know, I'm going to keep trying to hurry it up here. Remember that on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, which is not so popular anymore, but these two especially, you don't own those customers. Those aren't your customers. Okay, 18 minutes, so I'm going to try to wrap it up soon. You don't own those people, which is why it's super important to have that email list. If Facebook goes away or changes, you won't be able to reach all your customers to share with them. Same with Instagram. Farmers markets, again, you don't own those. You have no way of collecting or getting in touch with those people that walk through the farmers market unless you've spent the time getting them on your email list. Same with farmers market managers. I talk to a lot of farmers market managers who should be doing everything in here exactly like I teach the farmers, because when you work together, when you've got the market manager doing the same thing as the vendors that are in there, you have a very powerful farmers market. All right, so just remember, when you post on social media, only a small percentage of people who like your page or follow you will actually see those posts. So it's no way to communicate consistently with them. So it's fine as an add-on, but it's not the foundation. All right, lastly, so I'm trying to wrap it up. And I know it's kind of funny when I look really close, but I'm just making sure. Oh, there's a question. Rachel, would you consider blogging recipes more important than email marketing, or would you consider them symbiotic? The email is the way to deliver the blog or the information. So long content on your website, which in your case could be blogging, is how you show up in Google searches higher. But you've got, people don't randomly land on your website. It's not like you create a website and people go there. They have to be sent there. And so you send them there through delivering that content, a link to that content in your email. This is very in-depth of what we go through in the course. So we teach you how to do that. So the email delivers the content, and you've got to have consistently updated content to show up in Google searches. All right. Oh, Hayden's here. She must be home for lunch. All right. So to wrap it up, got to start with a fantastic product. I assume you're working on that already. I don't teach you how to do that in our course. You've got to know who you're selling to. If someone says, you know, we have 100 people visiting our website every day and nobody's buying, you know, they aren't really buying from us, and I say, who are you selling to? And they're like, well, anybody. Then I know, you know, the reason nobody's buying is it's falling flat because they're trying to reach everybody. You've got to learn how to reach one very specific dream customer. It's who I like to call a dream customer. I can teach you how to do that. And you've got to have an effective website in today's world, not a free one. Those don't show up in Google searches, but you got to be able to pay, you know, $16 a month minimum for something like Squarespace, and it's got to be beautiful. We can show you how to do that. The course I teach is not a tech course. It's not a technology course. It's a marketing course, communications, marketing, how to give. You'll brand yourself through there, but it's not a tech course. So you've got to, we have free technology videos that help you set up a website, but we're not there to teach website building. You've got to have your email capturing service like we talked about. Don't blind copy people. You'll get your email account shut down. Consistent communication. You've got to communicate with your whole email list every 2 to 4 weeks, year round, period. There's no way around that. If you take a break, when you start up again, you're going to lose those customers. So when your CSA is over in the fall, you have to continue consistently emailing them through the winter. That's the key to retaining those customers. And what are you emailing them about? That inspiration, education, giving things to them, not product, but giving of yourself like we talked at the beginning. You want to be yourself. Your brand is you. So when you write things, you want to write like you talk. Pictures are communication. You know, pictures are just as much a part of this as the words you write. And again, sell them what they want. So you got to figure out their struggles or their goals and figure out how your products help them reach their goals. And that's what you're selling. And focus on giving. Lastly, focus on giving. So give, you know, I like to say that I give 98% of what I have, I give away, and they only pay for 2% of it, but that 2% is what makes the farm run. So we help you discover what those things are in the course. All right, well, we're going to do a Q&A on the course too on Thursday. If you have any more questions though, put them down below this video. We will be in here answering questions all week. I've had several questions emailed to me. We've had several people sign up for the course. Very excited. Registration closes next Tuesday at noon Pacific. I always get people that email me the day after and say like, oh, I finally decided to sign up. Well, they missed it because it's a hard close. We close it next Tuesday at noon because we get ready for the course. We need all the students registered before we start on Wednesday. So I'll go over the Q&A on Thursday, but I'll be in here answering questions after this. And again, thank you for listening. Like Joel Salatin and Greg Judy both have told me this is the best marketing talk they've ever heard. I condensed it into 23 minutes, but I have an hour version too that I get to talk about. So let me help you. Let me help you figure out how to make your farm profitable, and I'll see you around. All right, take care, you guys. Bye-bye.